Hey, Winnie. Hey, Winnie. Can you do your bath for us? Oh, sweet girl. It doesn't sound so hot. Hello. Happy day to you. Oh, I can't find you. I think you were in there. It's super bright in here right now. I was not going to turn this on today, but we have a little thing happening. So several of the animals that we have brought here to HavenHill have come because, well, like the 2 sheep, because they're orphans. They have come, well, we bought the bunnies as a gift, but then, you know, one had an injury. We had a really sick duck that died. So, but we have tried to we had another bunny that came to us unknowingly, was very sick, and that bunny died. Anyway, my purpose is, my purpose of saying that is, sometimes you end up being almost like a rehab center. So we have made it our goal, actually really over this last year and a half, to learn as much as we can. And it started out unintentionally. It started with our duck who got sick. Okay, I'm trying to find a place there. That will work. I'm trying to find a place that I can set that down. I forgot my tripod upstairs. Okay, so what I was saying, oh, sweet girl. She sounds our lamb, Winnie. Come here, baby. Do you want to say hi? This is Winnie. Yeah, say hi. Hi. Winnie has been doing so good. I've said that she had a little bit of scours. It didn't even last that long. I mean, a few days. We're kind of monitoring it because it's quite normal with, like I had said in our previous video that I mentioned the lambs. It's kind of common with lambs, or really any bottle fed, not just lambs. That's not true. With any bottle fed animal. She's doing good with that. Wonder, when she first got here, she was doing really good for a few days, and then she started acting sick, just like what you would hear in like a human being, like if they have a really bad cold. It reminded me actually of my son, like what I was hearing here, it reminded me of my son. We have one of our kids in particular who has suffered with croup throughout his life on multiple different occasions, and once we even had to, he was hospitalized for a short time, and we had to call an ambulance because, well, of course it always happens in the middle of the night. I think that's the nature of so many things, but he wasn't breathing well at all. By the time he got to the hospital, he was doing fine. That was years ago. Okay, anyway, so, but that's what it was sounding like to me. So when you have especially orphaned animals, they're going to be more prone to sickness. Our duck that got sick, she got sick very early on, like very, very early on. Our other 2 ducks are great, by the way. He was asking if we could watch TV. He already knows the answers now. So when you have these orphaned animals, or animals that are apparent that something's pretty off from the beginning, or an injury like with our bunny, and I still need to do an update on her. That'll come hopefully this coming week. You have to figure out some things on your own. As a very small homesteader, you know, you cannot go to the vet for everything. I think I've shared that in our Holland Lot video. But we did, because that sweet little bun was a gift, we did take her to the vet. And to be honest, we spent quite a bit of money trying to get her better. I mean, it ended up being several $100s. And we told our girls we're going to do that this time. But if this happens again, you just can't do that endlessly unless you just have tons of money. We don't to continue to do these vet trips. It just doesn't work. So that is a really long way of saying we try to figure out everything we can possible. So with Wonder had a lot of the same symptoms. So technically I probably should have separated them. I made the decision not to separate them for a couple different reasons. I'm not sure if it was right. They had already been exposed to each other quite a bit. They do really well together, and I think there's something to be said about that. But of course, just like when you have kids or siblings, that then means that it can spread. So Winnie, a few days ago, showed some signs of it, but she was doing great. And actually, besides how she sounds, she acts fine. She's eating fine, she's pooping fine. She's outside still, even though there's a little bit of snow on the ground, she's enjoying grazing. She's hopping around. So those are all really, really good things that we do look for. She just does not sound good. And I would venture to say she sounds worse than what Wonder did. So we're doing the same thing that we did for Wonder. And in case you ever look into having sheep, here's what we did for Wonder that worked, which, by the way, Wonder is fine now. All of her, what sounded like croup is completely gone, and she's back to baaing. Baaing again, really, that's what it is. She did not make her sheep noises for many days. Well, Winnie is making her noises, which I'm really glad she's making her noises, but it just sounds like she has a sore throat or she's really raspy. She does not act like she's in pain in any way. She's acting like a normal little lamb other than how she sounds. So here's what we did for Wonder and what I'm doing, and just praying that it works for Winnie. I just got done telling my kids, so the weather got warm, the weather got lovely and beautiful, and then it got really, really cold. And today is bitter, bitter cold outside. I mean, it's happening all over the country. I'm aware of that. But these are the days that, like small homesteaders, when you have animals, where you say, come on guys, you can make it one more day. You can make it one more day. And I know there's other places that it's probably not going to be one more day. It could be longer. But that is what I'm saying today to all of these guys. Like, make it one more day, because tomorrow is supposed to be almost 60 and sunny, and we can get you outside. So anyway, let me tell you what we did that worked for Wonder and what we are doing for Winnie that we're hoping that it works. This right here is why I didn't really want to separate them. They're good together. They're very, very good together. And I know that it's common practice to quarantine an animal, but when they only have each other, and if there was another, if we had a few more, I think I would have been more prone to do it, but they also need each other, especially for lambs. I know there could be a lot of people, and including vets, that would disagree with that, but I don't know. I'm trusting my gut in this one. It may or may not work. Okay, so I think I've shared at least on Instagram that even for our family, that I am not against traditional doctors in any way, shape, or form. Just like all of us, we all have our story why we choose the things that we do medically. But I will do anything possible to fight things naturally first, whether it be by our nutrition. That's always our first one. Things like bone broth. Yes, I use essential oils. Yes, I am a major proponent of homeopathy. I can share more about that at a different time, but homeopathy has saved us on more than one occasion from actually being given, this has happened 3 different times, but from being given a prescription that once I go fill it for my child, the pharmacist has looked at me and said, do not give your child that medicine. They are way too young. There's no way that they can have that yet. So that just gives you a teeny tiny glimpse as to why I've chosen to do things a little bit naturally, but including with our animals, because we just want to learn them. And I really believe that if you study, whether it's an animal or whether it's your child or yourself, when you know your body, you can give it as much opportunity as possible to heal. That I am not against traditional doctors in any way, shape, or form. Just like all of us, we all have our story why we choose the things that we do medically. But I will do anything possible to fight things naturally first, whether it be by our nutrition. That's always our first one. Things like bone broth. Yes, I use essential oils. Yes, I am a major proponent of homeopathy. I can share more about that at a different time, but homeopathy has saved us on more than one occasion from actually being given, this has happened 3 different times, but from being given a prescription that once I go fill it for my child, the pharmacist has looked at me and said, do not give your child that medicine. They are way too young. There's no way that they can have that yet. So that just gives you a teeny tiny glimpse as to why I've chosen to do things a little bit naturally, but including with our animals, because we just want to learn them. And I really believe that if you study, whether it's an animal or whether it's your child or yourself, when you know your body, you can give it as much opportunity as possible to heal. So what we did with Wonder was this. We put apple cider vinegar in her water. Apple cider vinegar is this miracle worker that there's a lot of people, there's a lot of studying that has been done on apple cider vinegar, and it works. And it has actually worked greatly for some things that I have struggled through in my life. So apple cider vinegar, I know, is an immune booster, especially when you either have let it ferment yourself, or if you buy it with the mother in it. If you don't know what the mother is, you can look it up. So for all of our animals, including our chickens, and we've had a couple of sick chickens, we put apple cider vinegar in their water. With the chickens, we will do other herbs as well, and we will do garlic. And our rooster was all hunched over one day, and I didn't know what to do. We're definitely not taking a chicken or a rooster to a vet. So I just said, well, we're gonna do everything possible. Let's get him to drink what's called magic water. Let's get him to drink the magic water. He drank it. Within 2 hours, he was back to crowing. He had not been crowing for quite some time that day. Like, and our rooster crows a lot, but like I think it had been a solid day since he had crowed. 2 hours later, he was crowing, and that was months ago, and he's doing great. So that is a regular part of our chicken routine. So with the sheep, I did a lot more research as to the benefits of apple cider vinegar with sheep and just with animals in general. So I got them dosed what they should, or their dosing of what it should be in their water. So I did the apple cider vinegar and water. They're doing that. I am doing homeopathy. The homeopathy that I'm doing, I'm putting it in warm water for them, and I'm doing the same. This is so crazy. I am doing the same thing that I did for my son when he had croup, and it works. So they're getting a little bit of homeopathy twice a day, and then we're also doing Nutri-Drench. They have Nutri-Drench for all different types of animals. This was recommended to us from actually 3 other, well, they're all shepherdesses actually, all females, that said they do this, and they have seen a major turnaround with a sick lamb. That has helped immensely. For Wonder, it did. So all it basically is it looks like molasses, and there is molasses in it, and lots of other vitamins and nutrients to give them a quick boost, especially when they're first born if they're not thriving. But you can also do it for sick sheep. This particular kind is for sheep. So we've been doing Nutri-Drench. It's very concentrated, and you just pop a couple squirts in their mouth, or you can put it in, since they're bottle fed still, we've put it in their bottles a couple times too. That's what I did for Wonder, and like I said, she is completely back to normal as of right now. She's acting great. So now I'm doing the same thing for Winnie. And I had been doing a little bit of that for Winnie already, just kind of as a preventative, but not to the same extent. So now I'm doing it still a little bit for Wonder, just to continue on with her nutrition, and now I'm doing it in more of a medical dosage type of way for Winnie. Why do I tell you all these things? Well, I tell you these things, I'm trying to look for them a minute. Oh, they're laying in the sun together again. I tell you these things because sometimes you can get a certain perception of what things are like on social media or different things that aren't always accurate. So first of all, this is a very real part of homesteading, is knowing how to troubleshoot or help your animals if they're sick. I want to squat down, but every time I do, they come running to me. There you go, stay right there. The other reason I'm telling you this is if you take the time to learn animals or your kids or just people in general, and you watch for symptoms, sometimes the natural way does really work. It really does. And I'm also telling you this because learning to deal with the ups and downs, like when you can do something successfully, like treat an animal, when you know you cannot just continue to go to the vet for them. When you can do it successfully, it's a huge confidence booster. And that is the one thing I will say it's helped me immensely with, is just building my confidence as we're walking this journey together as a family, and with my kids. I'm using this as teaching opportunities to teach them, okay, here's what we know about chickens, here's what we know about bunnies, here's what we know about our sheep, here's what we know even about, our barn cats. We actually do take really good care of our barn cats because they serve a huge purpose here, and it's keeping mice out of our house and out of our vehicles. Yes, we've had them in our vehicles, and the mice destroyed some of our seats. All that to say, it's a very real part, and this is something that we are now walking through. It has not always been successful. Like I said, we've lost a bunny that was very, very sick. We've lost a duck that we just couldn't help. Are those the only ones that we've lost to sickness?
The bunny.
Yeah, I said the bunny. Oh, I know the other one I was going to say is we did our best to help our bunny with the help of a vet who had a broken leg. And we did need the help of a vet for that one. But hopefully hopefully that will never happen again. It was such a fluke deal, but if it did, we would at least know what to do now. So it was worth it. And the bottom line is, whether I like it or not, let me get this. It's bright, but we don't need it quite that bright. When you have a sick animal, or sick anything, or an injured animal, I called it my bunny philosophy. The bunny philosophy is true for even the sick little sheep. When you have somebody that's sick, or maybe I shouldn't even say sick, just in need of something beyond what it can give itself, you learn them very, very well. And you actually learn them better, I would say, than a healthy animal out of a need. And I think that's a good life lesson. So we're not going to give up on her by any means. She's nowhere close to that yet. But they might be spending a night in the sunroom just to try to keep them warm, since it's supposed to be so cold tonight. I don't know. We'll see. It's step by step, and I guess that's a really good life lesson too. Don't go too far ahead, because you just never know. So we will see. We will see what happens. I'll try to keep you posted. Hopefully by the end of this there will be a little bit more of an update, but if not, we'll keep you posted some other way. So anyway, and the all of the seedlings are doing amazing. Well, all of them that have sprouted so far are really, really doing well. I'm hoping we'll have some more sprouts over the next few days as the sun is shining well. The hardest part is to make sure my cats are not pawing at any of them. And the other good news is that we already have, I do not know if you'll be able to see that on this or not, we have some of the seedlings, I'm sorry, the little plants that they're real leaf, the second leaf. So the first leaf is not their real leaf. The leaves that you actually see right now will actually turn brown and die. But the second leaf on, let's see, that is our black-seeded Simpson, is growing. All of our yarrow, which definitely will need to be thinned sooner than later, they're getting their second leaves, which is really, really great. The dahlia, the seed dahlia, they're getting their second leaves, which is great. So anyway, things in the greenhouse world are doing well. Now we just need Winnie to get better. You can do it. You can do it, sweet girl. Yeah. I thought of one thing that I wanted to say to, hey baby, hi. Hi, I know. To anybody who does animals or who wants to have animals, and you know that doing things holistically is, one, super important to you, but two, could potentially be all that you can do. What I would say to you is this: there's going to be people that are not going to understand. There's going to be people that are going to say, well, you should never have animals. And I am here to tell you that that is not true. If we would have not taken some of the animals that we had, either one, like the sheep, we don't know if they would have made it. Sometimes what that means is that you were this animal's chance. And that if you would not have taken those particular animals, either one, they would have been culled, or two, they wouldn't have made it, or maybe they wouldn't have made it as long. Raise these for meat. That is what we are doing. But at the same time, we're trying to give them the best life they possibly could have here, so that in the end, they have one bad day. And it's the day that they're butchered. But then they're still giving back to our family. So I guess that's something that's kind of close to my heart. I've not experienced it personally yet, where people are like, well, you shouldn't have those because you can't even afford, or you're choosing to not afford vet care or whatever. And I would disagree wholeheartedly with that. I think that for a lot of animals, there's so many that are culled that don't need to be yet, at least. And so I'm thankful. I'm thankful that we have the opportunity to do this, or we have had the opportunity, and now we're continuing on with these to keep doing and learning and growing and give them the best life that we possibly can. So just a little food for thought from my heart to yours. Another thing I was thinking of too is learning whichever animal you're working with or learning. One of the best things you can first learn about that animal is, I can't see you, is what is their normal bunny behavior. What is normal lamb behavior? Then what is normal sheep behavior? What is normal chicken behavior? When you can learn their normal behaviors, you can sense very early on when something is off. that's been helpful for us with all of our animals. And we have learned that by doing, do you want me to hold it? We've learned that by doing research. We've learned that by reading. We've learned that from other people who have shared with us. We've learned that from watching videos. All of that is ways, and that can be your first indicator. It does require time. And I think that's why some people choose to not do things this particular way. But I'm telling you, it gives you a solid foundation to work off of, no matter what animal that you're choosing, to learn their normal behavior. And that was something when we had our bunny who had the broken leg, our vet really encouraged us to continue to do. She said it was great that even our kids had noticed something was off with her leg. She goes, if you can learn what would be normal behavior, then you can know when something's wrong. So again, so for this sweet little sheep, a day ago when 2 days ago when Wonder was still kind of off, but still doing okay, we noticed her normal behavior was just a bit different. Winnie was fine. One night ago, they were running and hopping and being crazy. So I knew Wonder was doing fantastic, and now Winnie had been doing great this entire time. And then last night and then this morning, we noticed that Winnie was a little bit more mellow. So while Wonder is hopping and jumping and being just like a toddler, Winnie is, but not to the same extent that she was. So that was our indicator before we ever even heard the cough change, or not. It's not even really a cough, just the congestion. So that to me was super helpful to learn that very early on. Okay, for example, this is really, really good lamb behavior. They're grazing, she's eating, that's great. When that stops is when we need to be concerned, even more so. And she's doing really, really good with that. So I'm thankful. And I'm sure my husband will be because they're eating weeds.
Got it? Oh, look at their hay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, she made it through the night. This is obviously the next morning. They slept in the greenhouse, our sunroom greenhouse, and she looks like she's doing well. That's Winnie. That's Wonder. Can you bath for me? How's your bath? Is it normal? Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Winnie, hi. Yeah. Oh, that sounds so much better. Yeah. Hi, sweet girl. Hey, little one. All right, so, oh, you're going poop. Thank you for that view. Yeah. Okay, I thought I would, well, let's see if we can get this so it's not, there we go. Super dark. Okay. I thought I would give an official update today and then probably close this video out. I said earlier it's the next day. This is Sunday morning, and she made it through the night well. She's acting much better than she did yesterday. She's jumping around and doing all the things. She still sounds congested. I'm not sure if you could really, if the camera could pick up her congestion. So we're just gonna keep watching her. I don't expect her to be miraculously be over this in a day. And I'm just gonna keep watching her behavior as well if she starts to do things that are no longer normal for sheep behavior. So anyway, that's the story with our sick little lammy. Wonder, the one that's a little bit older and bigger, she's doing fantastic. They've both been grazing today. They're eating. They just got their medicine, and we will just wait. I do think they enjoyed spending the night here. I'm not sure what we're going to do for tonight yet. It's not going to be horribly cold, so they could go back in the barn. But honestly, we have them set up kind of nice, and it's kind of lovely to be able to keep our eye on them. So I might just let them stay in here one more night. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for joining us on this journey with our sick little lamb. I'll try to keep you posted. I am much less worried today, just seeing how I do feel like she's already made improvement, and we'll just keep doing what we're doing. So anyway, the saga continues. We keep learning from our animals, and that's that. So, all right. Have a great day. It's beautifully sunny here, and like and subscribe to our channel. We love it when you do that. So, yeah. All right. See you later.